Hey there, adventure enthusiasts. Who's up for a vacation that's out of the ordinary? Well, don't miss our video today because we're about to take a wild ride to the 5 most extreme places on this planet. From Mount Everest, where catching your breath feels like singing a heavy metal song, to the East Antarctica where it's so cold even ice cubes get jealous. We've got some unique explanations and mind-blowing facts ready for you. So, grab your favorite snacks and drinks, and get ready to witness some heart-pounding action at the top 5 most jaw-dropping spots in the world. But before we dive in, don't forget to subscribe and hit that bell. Alright, let's dive into the video, and starting today, you'll have some thrilling stories to share with your pals. Mount Everest, the big boss of all mountains when measured from sea level. It stands tall at 8,848 meters, higher than the expectations of your boss, who loves giving us a hard time every day. You won't believe this, but rumor has it that Everest keeps growing taller on its own. Maybe it's aiming to reach the skies, who knows? So, if you've been there before, don't be surprised if a few years later the summit is higher than your memory of it. Everest is like a long-distance couple between China and Nepal, still holding onto love despite the distance. It's part of the elite 7 summits club, like a famous K-pop group, being the highest peaks on each of the 7 continents. If you're into collecting continents, make sure to drop by. There are 18 routes to climb Everest, and you'll need oxygen tanks that deplete as time goes on. By the time you reach the top, your dwindling oxygen supply will be as scarce as the empathy of an ex who's moved on. The air up there is so thin that finding oxygen feels like searching for spare change in your pocket. If you're thinking of climbing, brace yourself for second thoughts. The up and down climb and scarce oxygen are enough to make you reconsider. Not to mention the freezing temperatures, colder than an Eskimo's plea for an extra blanket. Oh, and here's a fun fact. Everest isn't just home to breathtaking views. It's got its fair share of trash, and even some abandoned climbers. So, if you're visiting, do us all a favor and bring back your trash, unlike an unforgettable ex. And rumor has it, there are abandoned climbers' bodies on its slopes, left behind, because bringing a body back is no easy task, and it could break the bank. So, if you're planning an Everest adventure, get ready not just physically and mentally, but financially. And remember, don't litter up there, or the mountain might just throw a tantrum and be unapproachable for a while. Speaking of going deep, let's dive into the world's deepest cave, the Veryovkina cave. It's like 2,212 meters below the surface, deeper than your bond with your ex. This cave was discovered by a gang of cave adventurers from Krasnoyarsk, Russia. They're like the Sherlock Holmes of the cave world. The entrance alone is 3 meters wide and 4 meters long. From 1986 to 2000, the cave seemed to be taking a nap, zero activity. Then in 2000, the cave detectives resumed their adventure, like the highly anticipated sequel to a Hollywood blockbuster. Not just in 2000, the exploration continued till 2015. With each expedition, they found the cave to be even deeper. The journey there is like a war mission, taking about a week to get there and back. And only the most seasoned spelunkers are up to the task. But let me tell you, exploring this cave isn't a walk in the park. It's risky business, and there's even the threat of sudden floods. Imagine strolling through the cave and suddenly, whoosh, a flood. Terrifying, right? Despite the risks, these scientists seem to have an unyielding spirit for this cave. They're like playing a hardcore RPG, leveling up with knowledge. Hopefully, they'll uncover even deeper secrets, maybe stumble upon a cave full of chocolate or a pile of gold and ancient adventurers. Alright, next up is a real hot spot, the Flaming Mountain. It's located in the Tian Shan Mountains in Xinjiang, China. But the real sizzle is its temperature, exceeding the charts at 80 degrees Celsius for months on end. It's like a massive natural oven. Check it out. The Flaming Mountain resembles a gigantic red sand dune that's quite buddy-buddy with volcanic activity. After millions of years of chit-chat, the mountain slopes ended up looking like they're on fire. That's why it's called flaming, not flexing. And here's a funny tale for you. The legend goes that the Monkey King, being his mischievous self, spilled some trigram Lord Lao Zai's furnace on Turpan. Luckily, the Monkey King had a magical palm leaf fan, so not everything went up in smoke. And that's how Flaming Mountain came to be, a result of the Monkey King's clumsy mishap. This mountain also plays a vital role in the ancient Silk Road. Like the pit stops for missionary and Buddhist traders, they'd swing by for a spiritual recharge, seek inspiration, and perhaps find the ultimate adventurer within themselves. So, if you're chasing enlightenment, swing by the Flaming Mountain. Maybe you'll pick up a new trick from the Monkey King. Alright, folks, if you're looking for a place colder than the cold shoulder of someone who's never been interested in you, look no further. On Earth, there exists a place where the temperature demands an extra thick jacket. We're talking nearly minus 100 degrees Celsius, a freezing minus 98 degrees Celsius to be exact. Can you imagine how bone-chilling that is? Wondering why it's so frigid? Well, the clear skies and icy winds, combined with the incredibly dry air, create the perfect conditions for freezing. It's like nature's way of giving us an ice-cold shoulder while dumping snow on us. If you're planning a holiday there, think twice. Breathing in that air directly would leave your lungs in a bad state. Scientists in the area wear these special masks that heat up the air before they inhale it. Smart move, huh? Antarctic ice might look flat, but it's more like a massive dome, just like a turtle's shell. The coldest part of Antarctica is its high plateaus, reaching up to 3,000 meters. So, if you're looking for a real taste of icy cold, East Antarctica is the place to be. And guess what? Even Antarctica has its summer. Though their idea of summer involves minus 20 degrees Celsius, still pretty refreshing. Huh, by the coast, it can even warm up to a balmy 0 degrees Celsius. Antarctica may hold the title for the chilliest place on Earth, but Russia and Greenland aren't about to back down. Alright, so we know Antarctica takes the cake for the coldest place on Earth, but Russia isn't just sitting around twiddling its frosty thumbs. There's a city in Russia named Oymyakon, or as it's more commonly known, the water that doesn't freeze. You heard that right. Water that refuses to turn into ice. And there's a story behind this city's unusual name. So, Oymyakon is in Siberia, Russia. Back in the 1920s, Russian herders would pour hot water from the springs onto their reindeer. And because of this, the city got its name, Oymyakon, meaning unfrozen water. Around 500 people call this place home, choosing to survive rather than just live. The temperatures, absolutely bone-chilling, averaging around minus 40 degrees Celsius in the winter. And get this, the winter lasts for a whopping 9 months. The record low temperature ever recorded there was a mind-numbing minus 96 degrees Celsius, colder than your ex's sudden departure in the middle of a downpour. Here's the kicker. Houses don't have running water because it would freeze. So, their bathrooms are like holes in the ground, with roofs and doors. And to make sure they have hot water for that cup of coffee, they burn coal nonstop. When you step out, keep the car's engine running constantly. If you don't, the gasoline will freeze, and your car will refuse to start. As for food, it's mostly meat since vegetables just won't grow here. Oh, and if you're thinking of burying a body, it's a whole ordeal. You've got to build a bonfire first to thaw the ground. Living in Oymyakon is like being on Survivor, Extreme Edition. So there you have it, guys. Did you get a kick out of these 5 craziest places on our planet? Which extreme location do you think takes the cake according to you? Let us know in the comments. And don't forget to like and share with your friends. Catch you in the next video.